The system of Pernelson has long been contested as a strategic hardpoint in the region. Interclan warfare is at a lull, while intraclan feuds begin to emerge. The size and volume of the realm would ultimately be a weakness with regards to structural security and harmony between figures of authority. Two leaders have organized a pitched battle in the system to retain their honor and gain personal governance of the region. Their feud has already annihilated a nearby metal planet, debris of which can be found on the remaining moon. Who will emerge victorious?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back with another cast for you, 1v1 on another moon planet. This time we have Burntcustard against Liquius rather than Mott. I'm not sure whether it's the same planet as before, or same moon as before. It doesn't look like it, considering the even distribution of mechs all around the planet this time. Burntcustard is in orange, and Liquius is in green. Burntcustard already has a Firefly out, and we're only a minute and a half or so into the game. Liquius, on the other hand, I've lost my words already because it's at the end of a very long day, has gone for a vehicle factory to start off with. He's leaving his commander a little bit idle. He's getting some mechs over here with his first fabricators that he's popping out. Burntcustard keeping an eye on this with his Firefly. That is always a good idea, keeping an eye on what his opponent's doing. Liquius isn't actually bothering with any anti-air at this point, which is a little surprising. So that Firefly is going to get continual free scouting. Now let's have a look back over at Burntcustard's base. He's also getting an energy storage. He's also got a bot fabrication factory. See, I'm getting tongue-tied all the time today already. He's got a bot factory, and it's building scampers or doxes, whichever you prefer. I'm just going to call them scampers because I always have and always will call them scampers. He's also got the air factory, obviously. In other words, he wouldn't have had to been able to build a Firefly if he hadn't had that air factory. Now we have ants already now being built out from Liquius. He's got his first aggressive unit, while Burntcustard is beginning to stream scampers across the map between these two spawns. Having a look at the build orders, he's also going up for another vehicle factory there from Custard, followed by an energy generator. Excuse me. And Liquius is going for an air factory now, probably going to get some air support, maybe even follow it up with some bumblebees, because this Firefly is wreaking havoc on these builders. Look at this. This is absolutely disgusting. Is the Firefly going to get a worker kill? That's going to be insanely good value for money of that Firefly. Indeed, it's just harassing away here. Not too long now before that vehicle goes down. If he's keeping an eye on it, he'd be able to target it, and that Firefly would really be a nightmare for Liquius. Any worker production lost is worker production lost, and that is that. But now here comes the Hummingbird, and it's going to take out that Firefly. Does the Firefly get away in time? No. It gets sniped, and now we also see some anti-air going up in the middle of Liquius' base, so no further scouting is going to be easy, although it is in the middle of his base, so he's going to get a good bit of vision before actually getting shot down. Liquius has the early warning on those scampers there from that beautiful Hummingbird, little patrol pattern there, although it wasn't a patrol, it was just a movement. And down goes the scamper, slapped in the face for having the audacity to try and rush in a Zerg-like fashion. Sorry, I've had to do a lot of talking today, so my throat isn't particularly brilliant. Anyway, other than that, we also see more ants coming out from Burntcustard now. So these are going to sort of roll through all of these craters, and will they get caught on the side? Nope, he's gonna apparently aquaplane. There we go. He's back to normal now. Just took them a little bit of a while to sort out that. But he's on his way to Liquius' base, who also has some ants sitting sentry around the periphery of his base, but we have two scampers here just taken out of mechs and running away. Hit and run mission, beautiful raiding there from Burntcustard, way before Liquius can get his commander in, but he's going to try and rebuild that almost instantaneously, and it's going to auto reclaim and build on top now, because that is now a feature, and we can celebrate this. We don't actually have to separately put a reclaim command in before building, and we can just get straight on with it, and it'll be done automatically, which is beautiful that Uber have put this in as a feature at long last. Burntcustard and his base with his air factory is getting up some hummingbirds. Going to be defending against any possibility of bumblebees that may or may not, indeed they are, coming out from Liquius. Going to maybe potentially do some wide worker harass there, taking out some fabricators who are rather unsuspecting. What is this hummingbird doing? Is he going to act as a scout down here? I'm not entirely sure. He's down around the South Pole. This hummingbird's going to come in and find him, is he? No. Let's just have a look at this scouting he's going to get done. Is he going to come over here and see the expansion? I think he's just supporting these doxes just in case there's a bumblebee. Just in case there's a bumblebee. So they're going to be moving quite slowly. He's just about going to miss this. Is he going to find the workers? It's going to be debatable. It's so close. There, he sees them. He sees them, and there they are. He's going to move them away just a little bit, away from those towers. He wants to take out the workers, and oh my word, there go the ants. But he's only got one scamper now, and there's ants guarding, so he's not even going to try. But he did manage to take out that worker, that fabricator, that was on such low health. Meanwhile, back in the main base, we see Burntcustard with quite a few ants now beginning to stream across the planet and conglomerate in and around a crater. Liquius, meanwhile, is building up more production capabilities. He's now got 4 vehicle factories. Well, almost. He's got 4 foundations, shall we say, and 3 of which have been completed. Burntcustard, on the other hand, has 2 vehicles and 2 bots. Now a 3rd vehicle, so he's going to be bolstering up that production power a substantial amount. That hummingbird there going out and getting a little bit of early scouting just on the potential of such an aggressive move here by Burntcustard. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into free cam mode and attempt to spectate the rest of the game from free cam mode, so you can see at a reasonable level the detail level in this game. And there we are. Holding shift not only shows you the build pattern, but it also speeds up the movement in free cam. So I'm afraid that's, going to appear whenever I move a little bit faster. So you can see Liquius is going to be expanding all throughout here, but as soon as he gets over here, either the ant is going to shoot the scamper, or the scamper is going to shoot one of these who have got lower health, if I recall correctly. Looking back and across, going all the way over past the Great Wall of Energy to Burntcustard. He's moving his commander out. Could he be starting to move factories closer and closer towards Liquius's base, getting these gradual proxy base creeps going? We will have to see, but we'll definitely be moving an aggressive commander push with Burntcustard. There's no other explanation why the commander would be out here. No other whatsoever. That's, almost within horizon sight of Liquius's commander, who's also walking out. Bear in mind these 2 players are in a TeamSpeak, so I'm not sure whether they have planned a pistols at dawn. Won't be too long before we see... Whoop, hello. Coming from the perspective of Liquius's commander now. Getting an ant. Hello, sir. We have scouted the horizon and we can see Burntcustard's commander, along with another ant. Or more. I recommend caution. These two just having a little recon conversation back here. I don't even know why or what for. Oh my word, that's interesting a move. He's going to put a turret there instead, as is Custard. The Custard is going for anti-air instead, but Custard has a substantially larger force here. And here he comes with a little raiding party there, which gets picked off 1 for 1, an eye for an eye, or an ant for an ant, as we should probably start saying in Planetary Annihilation. Tit for tat, poking at each other, an eye for an eye. So this energy is just going to be continually built up, I guess. Maybe a little bit impeded, depending, which is a little bit confusing, but... So that was just my recording software saying, I don't like recording in desktop, but you've been recording in desktop for ages, so yeah, it's just being picky. Apologies for that, but Liquius is building himself a trench now. Rather interestingly, he's trying to get some more ants to support him, but Burntcustard has massively outproduced him so far in ant numbers. Massively, massively. And my word, there's a dogfight and both go down. This is the majority of one-on-one engagements at the moment with leading, because, yeah, most things hit. I say most, because not everything. But it's certainly a case of, well, 1 for 1, shall we say. A lot of energy from Liquius now. Not too much factory production, and no advance to T2 from Liquius. Let's have a look back at... well, I've gone the wrong way, but you can see a little bit of Metal Planet there, and I've probably got lost. There we are, there's Burntcustard's base, there we go. Burntcustard is also not made the step up to T2. This is interesting. I would have expected one of these, or more of these players to go for T2. But here we see Liquius building up a pelter and a radar as well. So any advance that Burntcustard decides to make is going to get picked off by that pelter. Of course, depending on how large the force is, and where's the rest of his ants gone? I'm going to have to pop out of... There they are, look. Looks as though they might be going for a flanking manoeuvre. That's interesting. Where's the rest of his army gone? I don't see any wreckages from a foolhardy Sir Douglas Haig attack, shall we say. And it's like this one here. Liquius has sent an ant doing some black ops behind enemy lines. Look at this. Burntcustard trying to pursue and take it down, but at the moment it's just going to get some free mechs damage. I doubt it's going to get a kill before it's going to get taken out, although it'll probably just about get that one kill off. But then he's going to have to leg it up towards the North Pole if he's to survive. He's going to have to move now, otherwise he's not going to get the mechs kill. No, there he goes. He missed that opportunity. That was unfortunate. He should have kept moving there because of the priority systems. And here we are, Liquius moving out with his ants, saying, no, why are you building anti-air on this front? It's a foolish idea, because there aren't actually all that much aggressive aircraft being used. The bumblebees seem to have disappeared for the time being, or have been countered by something. Probably all the hummingbirds that are also flying around. And my word, here come some scampers. They're going to do a bit of damage in the back of Liquius's base if he's not careful. And indeed, here they go. They're going to take out this factory, or at least a mechs and a fabrication team. A couple of ants desperately trying to come in and do something about this. He's on the wrong side of the factory to actually get off some shots. Here he comes, just about to shoot, and bang! There goes the factory and the scamper. Burntcustard really needs to keep an eye on these, otherwise they're all going to go down and aren't actually going to be fulfilling their potential in raiding. There they are, moving away. Hit and run. Only 2 or 3 losses there. In exchange for blocking a factory. Beautiful play from Burntcustard. He's now moving this one around again. But Liquius is beginning to do his economic expansion now at long last. With some little defences before building the mechs, which is always a good idea, just in case you're wary of someone raiding. And look at this! These 2 scampers have managed to take down 2 mechs. Great raiding there, there's no other word for it. And these 2 flanking forces have just circumnavigated each other. Here they come back again. Burntcustard saying, whoops, I walked straight past you. Hey, you didn't take your delivery. Come back. And now we'll see ants shooting at each other like no tomorrow. Indeed, there they go, taking out Liquius's flanking force. And Burntcustard left with a substantial force here. But Liquius has a couple of little bits of defence. Burntcustard's majority is on the other side, so Liquius is actually going to do a fair bit of damage here. Just picking away at Burntcustard's force. It's not actually going to get enough done. And there's the T2 in the bottom of the screen there from Liquius. At long, long last. Burntcustard still has yet to make that move, while Liquius has got these ants on the flank of Burntcustard's, I was about to say face there, but it's his base that he's more worried about than anything else. I shouldn't think his face is his top priority at this point in the game. Unless, of course, You are one who sort of tends to care about cosmetics, etc., etc. Anyway, I digress. We have a T2 air factory going out from Burntcustard. Going to see some Hornets coming out very soon. I shouldn't wonder, especially considering that Liquius' commander is sitting, I was going to say, on the front lines, but we now have these factories here, so it's not so much of the front lines as before. But here comes another flanking manoeuvre from Burntcustard, going to take out all of this energy, or a substantial portion of it. The Great Wall of Custard, shall we say? Except, excuse me, it wasn't Custard that built it, but even so, that's an amusing name. Aptly for the person that conquers and pokes a hole in it. Look at this. Great Wall of Custard. Falling apart. Leaving charred remains. Absolutely devastating for Liquius' economy, especially if he plans to pump out a lot of this T2 with all of this assisting. It's not going to happen, especially if he's going to maintain production with these vehicle factories, because he needs to get rid of this aggressive force here, which is still doing substantial damage, taking off defences, running away. Is the anti-air tower going to get an ant kill? It does! That's a rarity, and it gets a second one as well. This is a pro anti-air tower. Absolutely pro. The Pelter's still sitting there, waiting, dormant, for its first shots. Burntcustard's commander also entrenched here, so we're staring across a couple of craters. Custard again going to be flanking on two fronts. Beautiful forking manoeuvre. While Liquius' forces are going to have to be divided and thus conquered, as the saying goes. In come the ants now from the... Getting my directions wrong way around. I was about to say west. In fact, that's the east, coming past the spiral swirl thingy here. Not sure if anyone's still noticing those. I quite like the swirly art style. I'm not sure about anyone else. Getting a little bit of lag. I do hope people in my house haven't turned on FIFA again, because that is one of the main contributors to my not putting anything up, because, yeah, terrible internet and other people playing internet-demanding games. Regardless, here comes another force ready to just decimate the remainder of this energy field, and probably even push down, and if they can go uncontested for a significant portion, they can probably just stroll through and even take out this T2 energy. Desperately trying to go up. You can see how slowly the energy has gone down because of all of this here. It's not producing as fast as it should, or indeed could be. They're getting caught in the middle. They need to keep moving, Custard. Keep them moving. They're about to get, well, taken out by a leveller. And flanking force of ants. There we go. That's Custard's force there. Gone. Unfortunately, he doesn't take out any more energy. But here's another flank that is rather exposed. Unfortunately, it's moving in on factories. That's going to be a little bit harder to pull off, considering those will be bumping out defences constantly. He's just left them here. And here are Hornets. I didn't see these, I'm afraid, folks. I do apologise for this. But there's a distinct lack of air superiority from Liquius. He has got anti-air turrets. But how substantial are these going to be with Hornets going everywhere? He just needs to take out this front defence, and then Custard can really start to stroll in with his commander and his ants. Hummingbirds over here, ready for air superiority, fighting, as with two more Hornets bringing up the rear. Hummingbirds and Hornets still just rolling around in the middle of the base. Probably focus down on this T2 factory. Indeed they are now. I should hope, anyway. Here they come for another pass. It's going to take a few more passes than this. Should probably move these ants in now, Burntcustard. You've got the possibility to do so. But yeah, there's another substantial force of ants. I think Custard has the upper hand in this. Liquius is definitely on the back foot, especially since his energy has gone. It's disappeared, but he is getting T2 mechs, which is going to bolster up his production on that regard. More scampers over here from Custard, who has sort of expanded all around the map. If we zoom out to a large proportion here, we can see that we've got expansion all over the northern hemisphere from Custard, and likewise all over the southern hemisphere from Liquius. Custard, however, has not made the move to T2 economy just yet. He's only gone for the T2 air. which is surprising. But it's good that Liquius is making use of that T2 econ advantage while he can, trying to desperately assist to get these levelers out as soon as he can. As soon as this goes up, he should probably be able to assist with all of these as well. But here come ants now, devastating. He's going to take out this energy storage. Maybe just about, we'll have to see, but he's definitely going to take down some more energy. A lot of damage to this. You can just see this almost sort of inverted happy face, almost, if you will, or a smile that's just not the way it should be. And these ants are, yeah, as we say, just going to punch holes in this economy. They are going to take taken down by all of this, however, and a leveler moving in now as well. But Burntcustard really doing some very good raiding here. Incredibly good raiding. Meanwhile, down the back, Liquius is making use of his T2 economies, just as you can see, queued up all of that T2 mechs. Another great wall of custard here, just being forged from T2 energy, and indeed from air factories. That's a lot of air factories being queued up. Quite why? I mean, it's clear, you know, from anybody who knows Custard and what he likes, he does like a good bit of nuclear payload from these Hornets. Not sure whether they're low yield or whether they're just a large explosion. That is yet to be determined. But no doubt about the fact that they do a substantial amount of damage if you know how to use them, and Custard loves his Hornets. Not the bees! Anyway, I had to make that reference, I do apologise. But that's the only thing I can assume is going to happen with all of these, getting up a lot of air superiority, because anyone who plays against Custard is going to know they are going to need a lot of anti-air. Liquius should probably use these ants just to maybe do a little bit of raiding here, there, and everywhere. A lot of scampers around as well. In Custard's base can probably be used now, but that's a lot of Hornets and a lot of air support for them. So no doubt Liquius is going to be wanting to produce that air support. And my word, how many anti-air have you queued up, Liquius? My word, that's quite extraordinary. However, if I'm not mistaken, I saw a nuke coming up from Burntcustard. Indeed I did. The launch is completed. He's got a T2 air fabricator assisting it now. Not too much lag coming in just yet, which is all good. All good indeed. He's even got his commander assisting. The fabricator's just sort of sitting around going, we'll watch everyone splurge green at this explosive horribleness. And that is actually a swarm of hummingbirds. It's quite remarkable seeing that pathing there just going. I think there's no other way to describe it other than that sound effect of. Anyway, over here we see Liquius, who's managed to successfully raid Burntcustard's little staging facility over here. He's going to gradually do more damage to this energy here. He's taken out 2 factories. Looks as though... no, that's not another factory there. It's just a lot of damage. Indeed, in comes some more ants. Custard desperately trying to salvage this situation. He's not going to move in his whole clump. Why would he need to? Rather than show that he has the whole clump, he just moves in what he needs to. He now has superior numbers. He knows he can fight this off. Or at least he should be able to. There he does. Liquius around the back here with some more ants. But I think what we're more fussed about at the moment is this huge mass of scampers and this air threat here. And this nuke, which is nearing completion now. Not too far off. Remains to be seen, excuse me, whether Liquius has made the atomic discovery of nuclear weapons, the Manhattan Project of Planetary Annihilation. Indeed, it appears not. Burntcustard is therefore going to get a free nuke strike. No anti-nukes at all from Liquius. This is unwise at this point in the game to not have an anti-nuke being built or even planned. He really should, in this instance, is a good example of where you should keep scouting at all costs. And my word, here comes a large force of ants. And in come the Hornets. That's a large air battle there. Hornets were initially going to take down the ants, and instead Liquius has turned into the air superiority in that little regard there, and has managed to support his ants, moving all the way in, taking out this entire staging facility here. and keeps pushing in with his remaining ants. In come a couple more hornets to take out this group, doing this horrible splash damage. Oh my word! All gone. 3 bombs there, I believe, were dropped. It's not a lot. And it won't be too long until this nuke has gone either. It's completed. He's seen it's completed. He's built another factory next to it. Won't be too long before it does get launched. And there it goes! There it goes, down into free cam. Let's see where this goes. Here it comes. Let's follow this on its epic journey of
Destruction. Orange has launched a nuke.
green. Oh! That's an explosion. Sir, we appear to have been missing some of our base. I do apologise, but we neglected our anti-nukes. Whoops, I think someone is saying in Liquius High Command. And Hornets as well, moving around. A lot of dogfighting going on. As Hornets move in, going to take out some econ. Getting shot down, however, doing some scouting. Beautiful tracking here. All of this defence, this one Hornet, just getting free scouting and all sorts going on now. Round it comes. Just flying overhead, having a look at what's going on. Dropping a couple of bombs, having a little bit of a drunk driving there as it wobbles to and fro. And off into the distance. And a lot of anti-air. So much anti-air! It actually all managed to get completed. That's going to be a devil for Burntcustard to even attempt to go for. But again, you want to be able to shoot the planes down before they reach the commander. If the commander's still there, the bombs can be dropped before the Hornets are shot down. But up comes more T2 now, and another nuke being prepared from Custard, who lost his air factory. There must have been Liquius' assault force. Not too much left in this, I shouldn't wonder now. I'm surprised we haven't started to see spinners being mixed in with the ants, actually. That would have been an interesting combination to see some mobile anti-air being made use of here, because these Hornets are ripping through. Just sniped a leveler. We've got Custard sort of flanking on all sides. Liquius also has got sort of units all over the map, as has Custard. Custard still hasn't made the move to T2 economy. This still surprises me. This really does, but these Hornets are just gonna, you know, just say hi. Hello, ants. Goodbye, ants. Hello. And all those scampers are going to say, whoa, that's too much anti-air for even us to cope with. Even when we're grouped together.
Won't be too long now before Hornets are launched from the green team.
In fact, it won't be too long either before another nuke is launched from Burntcustard. Here comes another air superiority fighting battle. My word, there's just lots of missiles going everywhere in this. On this moon is going to be devastated. Absolutely devastated. We haven't got another planet in there. I've actually failed to check this. No, we don't. That's actually pretty good, therefore, that we don't. Just having a look around, trying to find the sun. Why can't I find the sun? There's the sun, there we are. Has the sun disappeared? What is this? Anyway, Custard isn't assisting this nuke this time, so maybe it's not his highest priority. He is, however, assisting levelers. But my word, here comes a large force of ants. Anti-air is not going to be good against this large force. Liquius has got his commander over here. Potentially should be assisting all of this anti-air with his commander. I mean, Burntcustard is going to have trouble fighting through all of this. In fact, he's not, especially with this defence force here, but he has got another one coming up, follow up there. And he's also got some levelers here and his commander. It's still difficult to see who's going to win this, actually. I still reckon Custard's got the upper hand because of economic damage being done just all throughout the game. But we do have all of this T2 mechs. But here come the ants, ready to threaten this like no tomorrow. These point defence, the ants have been moved here. So they're going to take out that point defense without too much trouble. The Hornets are coming in, though, and they got massive splash damage. Look at that. Absolute devastation to those ants. Absolute, total and utter devastation. Only 6 remain. 3, 2, 1. He's not going to get a kill, is he? Before the Hornets actually sort themselves out on that pass. No way. Are they just... No. What are they actually doing? They're not going to let him take this thing down, are they? No, here we go. There goes the ant. And they came dangerously close to a single ant sniper of some T2 mechs. Now we're assisting this nuke again, but we are getting a group of levelers now, so Custard really investing in the levelers. This could potentially be the end of Liquius. Where Liquius' commander is, however, is another question altogether. There it is, sitting right here, building up some more anti-air, because he still thinks that Custard is going hard on his anti-air. This is wrong, but he's going to get the scouting now, and he's going to see, no, he's not going hard on air any longer. In fact, quite the opposite. Quite the opposite. And maybe he's just going to be doing this because it's a cheaper option, just spamming anti-air as he moves deeper and deeper in the base for a defensive purpose. But I used to think the longer Custard waits for this leveler ant force to sort of group up together and do damage, I think the easier it is for Liquius to actually defend against it, especially with his Hornets, now that Custard has sort of neglected air superiority and defense. Here comes a Hornets now. This is exactly what I mean. Is the nuke launcher going to get taken down? I definitely think that was Liquius' target, undeniably, but the Hornet's going to leg it away because, well, there's anti-air right there, but he's seen this group of ants. He's going to take out the middle. No, he's not. He's going to come in for another pass, and he's going to get shot down, potentially. Potentially, yes, he will. That was a mistake. Oh, he gets away by the skin of his teeth. And here come ants now. So they're going to meet these levelers, and they're going to go, oh, wait, no. We don't want to shoot against those. And all 8 levelers now. 9, in fact, once this one is completed. We're really going to start to punch a hole in Liquius. A rather big hole. Interesting still, I mean, it's remarkable that we don't see any mobile anti-air being produced. I mean, there's so much and air-to-air defense from Liquius that maybe ground-to-air is a viable possibility now, because because of the amount of production that's going to be needed to take out Liquius' hummingbirds, especially considering Custard is not producing hummingbirds any longer. He has ceased. No, he hasn't. He's got... There we go. He's got 3 factories doing it. I was wrong. But in come 3 more Hornets. How much damage are they going to do? They're going to, well, punch a hole in the ants and take out a factory. Bang. This nuke needs to get off the ground. Hornets just tearing through all of this. And there goes the nuke. My word, that was close. Is it going to hit the commander? Bang! There goes the entire defence. Now is time for the levelers to move out. That was absolutely devastating. Because Liquius has sort of moved back and sort of subsidied that now, but Custard has to move out with these levelers, otherwise he's going to lose his advantage of having taken out all of that defence. He has to move out. Has to. Especially considering the continued Hornet production and harass from Liquius. Eventually, this Hornet stuff, if used correctly, and rather than attack the main base and just go and attack all of this econ that Custard has, Custard could be in a very devastating situation very, very quickly indeed. I mean, this is what surprises me, because Custard hasn't done any flanking, nor has Liquius, for a large amount of time. And all of this econ from Custard has just sat here, absolutely unscathed. And Liquius could really have been exploiting this undefended econ, especially with his continued Hornet production, and Custard really should have been flanking to stop this hugely great wall of Custard being produced in Liquius' base now. Of this energy here, this huge amount of energy. So Liquius has finally managed to get his econ back on track. Wouldn't be surprised if maybe soon we started to see some anti-nukes. I mean, he really needs to build some, but he's not going to. And this it infuriates me. Because he knows the nukes are there. They're not being built, however, because the energy and stuff doesn't allow it. Plus, well, the focus has moved from ants to levelers. But you need to defend against hornets, because otherwise your levelers are going to get sniped. And this is where this game is doing a lot of toing and froing. I mean, you wouldn't look it, see it, just, on plain first principles sort of thing, because, Custard had the upper hand at the beginning. He was doing a lot of backhand raiding. Liquius has sort of managed to claw back the advantage because Custard has neglected it. I mean, what we see here, one scamper just sat on the edge of a crater. Where else? What else do we see? Two scampers here sat nowhere. Liquius's ants sat doing nothing. Custard has another group of ants over here, but he needs to get around and away from the hornets. I mean, mobile anti-air, guys, come on. It's a ridiculous number of hummingbirds. I mean, earlier on, Custard had air superiority. Not anymore. Not anymore. And just a lot of fighting going on here. I wonder what this looks like from a dynamic perspective. And here come hornets! Is Custard's commander going to be at risk? No, he's got enough anti-air. Just. But it is shooting at the factory rather than the hornets. But, oh my word. Flee, you hornets, flee! Leave me alone. Will you be one with the Uber? That is the question on everyone's mind. Come the doxes now. But it's another raiding party of hornets just ready. I think there's about 3-4 there. 3. There we go, there's 4. There's the 4th. Going inside each other, that's interesting. We're sandwich hornets! Honey sandwiches. Hey, there we are. Another engagement here. No more levelers. Well, there's one leveler, in fact. But the whole group of levelers that Custard did have is gone. Because he hasn't... And there goes the T2 factory! Custard has lost his T2 advantage. He has to be producing one in the background. The anti-air is going down as well. Could this be it for Custard? The Hornet's saying, no, we're going to wait. Just a little bit longer. We need a few more Hornets. But Custard going to leg it. He's got to. He can't not. I mean, there is this T2 air here. Is it going to be producing peregrines? Indeed it is. Oh, I like that. Sorry, I haven't seen peregrines on the launch pad. They look like Lambda shuttles from Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. I like the folding. No, that's just one of the things I love about spaceship design. If you have articulating wings and stuff like that, I don't know. There's just something about them that just gets to me. Anyway, we have these Hornets here still saying no. There's too much anti-air. In fact, it's only one, but that is a huge number of hummingbirds. They're going to chase them down undefended. They're going to get the focus, and all of them go down. All of the Hornets. Excuse me. Throat's getting quite dry now. But that is an air force and a half. Just, I don't even know why they're just running around the base now. But my word, has Liquius got an air force and a half. Here come the next wave of Hornets. Custard is on the back hand now. Back foot, rather. There are the peregrines. Beautiful stuff. Look at that. They actually look like the Lambda shuttles, in a way. Love it. I haven't seen peregrines in ages, but now that we have T2 interception, Liquius might have to rethink his strategy of mass hummingbirds. But we only have one, soon to be 2, 3, 4 there. But Custard needs to do some attacking or at least some raiding. So at the moment, what do we got? We've got a commander on the back foot and ants moving in now as well. Really making use of all modalities here. Because Custard has not got any ground defense. It's just sort of here, there and everywhere rather than all together. Doxers are going to try and move in, Scampers in fact, but they're going to get taken down. I'm entirely sure what sort of walk they were doing there. Hornet's going to move in, try and take down some stuff, and that's going to be the active defence now that the Peregrines are out. Who's just going to sink into the floor. I'm not entirely sure why, but the rest of Burntcustard's base is going to get taken down by these ants. Just have ants sitting in my base. What is this? I'm sorry, just looking at so many factories articulating in the background is really quite beautiful as well. Especially the T2 one over there for juxtaposition and comparison. In come more hornets. In come more hummingbirds. My word. Just gonna sit there. Hornets. Oh. This is quite remarkable. Where's Custard's commander? I hope he's safe. He's way over here trying to build some T2 energy as the rest of it's just getting shot down. Let's have a look at Liquius' base. I wonder whether he's building a nuke yet. Wouldn't be surprised. No, he's just assisting these hornets. They're coming out once every 20-30 seconds by the look of it. He could probably be building a nuke. Why are you no-build nuke, sir? Why are you no-build nuke? Build nuke. Do it. Anyway. Who needs nukes when you've got ants? Finally, this force of ants has moved up. It's potentially doing some damage. We've got Custards over here, not doing very much. Just going to check the chat log. Nothing there. Just in case there was a GG. And Orbital... So you're going for Orbital. You've been scouted and you're going to persist in building this Orbital. I think not. How he thinks he's going to get away with that, I have no idea. These ants are just going to wander up here. The Hornets are also going to wander up there, especially now the commander's out in the open. He's got no air defence over there. None. I mean, I'm seriously surprised. You know, it won't be too long before we see like 5 or so Hornets just leg it at this and just focus down on it. Because, well, Liquius doesn't want Custard getting into Orbital. He really doesn't want Custard getting into Orbital. But I have to say, this has been an interesting game to cast. Very interesting indeed. And it remains to be so. It's been quite a long game as well, in fact. But this orbital is about to get finished. And if we actually get some orbital lasers or something, then we could potentially see another turn of events. Change of tide. Here come the Hornets now. Just ready. They're going to get intercepted by a couple of hummingbirds, doing a bit of econ damage on the way. Oh no, they're going to get shot down before their payload gets dropped. That was unfortunate. They really should have been backed up there. It really, really should have been. And there needs to be some air support for these ants, otherwise there's no point in sending them in like this. No point. I mean, at least they're spread out so the splash damage from the Hornets doesn't do quite so much damage. But there they go. There the rest of the Hornets get sniped. Excuse me. The rest of Custard's base is in tatters. I wonder how long it'll be before Custard just says, you know what, I'm going to run in with my commander, and I think that might be what he's trying to do now. Although retreating a little bit, just because of these ants here. He's going to need to take some fabricators with him. And my word, that's a large number of ants over there. But here comes some more hummingbirds! The commander is, strictly speaking, out in the open. What are they building? Can't really tell. It looks like an orbital laser to me. Cheeky. Cheeky. Commander's on half health now. Are we going to see a Hornet snipe? I haven't seen one in... Oh! There's the nuke! There's the nuke I suggested Liquius might build. Won't be too long now before that's completed, considering he's practically halted assistance on the Hornets. That's not going to be too long until it's done, and as long as the commander's not healed... Pop goes the weasel, for want of a better phrase. Really won't be too long at all. At all. So... let's assume... Bumblebees? Really? Let's assume that Custard isn't going to repair his commander. Indeed he isn't. I don't think it's his top priority right now. With all of these hummingbirds flying around, he's probably fearful of a Hornet strike. Hence why he's getting up some anti-air. Desperately trying to get this up, but he hasn't got the econ. No way has he got enough econ for that. Excuse me, wow. And here is the nuke. Almost completed now. Almost. Oh, Custard. You were doing so well, sir. And here Bumblebees? What? Oh, taking out the workers, taking out the fabricators to stop them assisting that orbital laser platform. He doesn't want his commander getting sniped first. That's a lot of bumblebees, though. That's a large number of bumblebees. Potentially, could we see a bumblebee snipe? A T1 bomber snipe, just like in my favourite cast of all time, that 4-player free-for-all that I did, where Oxide managed to completely T1 snipe. And there's the nuke, it's completed! Managed to T1 snipe Mushroom Mars, though it was at a detriment to himself, because it sort of sparked off a chain of events. How long until the nuke? Only takes a matter of noticing it now. There it goes! Here comes the nuke. What's that coming over the hill? Is it an explosive? Yes, it's a nuke, ladies and gentlemen. Are we ready? Are we steady? Oh. No need! I missed that. Let's have a chronocam, I think. I do apologise. That was anticlimactic. Yeah. I'm only going to assume that was either a GG, or a self-kill, or a bumblebee snipe. So as soon as we can review the game, we'll have a look. There we are.
Review the game. Winner, RLM Liquius.
Right, so at the end of chronocam, what do we see? Just gonna speed this up now. We've got the bumblebees over here, doing all sorts of wishy-washy something or other. Here comes the nuke, and yeah, I think it was just a self-kill saying, "You shall not nuke me, sir." I think that's all that was. I think that's all we can really assume it was. Let's replay that, but just slightly slower. There it is. Yeah, that was a self-kill. He was not going to go down by a nuke. He saw it coming. Boom. There it was. Nuke wasn't even needed. Well, thank you for watching this cast, folks. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm glad my internet managed to survive for it. Other than that, don't forget to drop a like or a comment. If you have any questions to ask or suggestions, don't hesitate to drop them in the comment section. And if you want to see more casts coming up very soon indeed, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Anyway, once again, hope you enjoyed it, and as ever, have a nice day.